Oh my God, he's got the sound effects going. He's happy.
Emergency,
He's happy.
Emergency. Hey, Robbo.
You're happy. He's coming home, right? So you're happy now, yeah?
Play your theme.
You're getting that vibe now, right?
I told people that Robbo could well be playing his theme tune this evening because he lost it last week. So have you found it?
Actually, no. I still got the German theme tune loaded. I was like, this is gonna be playing, and I left it. I said, oh, what am I changing it for? It's only England versus Germany.
Yo, you could get rid of that one. You could get rid of that one, bro. I told you that German team was not up to it against England. They just was not up to it.
But Ernie, did you in the history books where Germany is concerned, Euro 96, they was also, I've been watching all the shows, but I didn't realize as well that German team that went into Euro 96 was probably not really on par. They lost a few competitions before that, and they also were slated. They were slated by the German public, not having a very good team. And they went into Euro 96 and they won it. And the players that was in there, I remember I remember the 96 final, there wasn't really any household names. Even the dude that stepped up to take the penalty, Muller, wasn't really a household name. So there's a lot of similarities to both sides. But this time around, the curse of COVID, I don't know. Let's just say England played well, and
on the night,
off.
on the night, England
to Raheem Sterling.
Oh well, you know what I mean. It was Raheem Sterling against Germany, wasn't it? But you wouldn't have believed the next day in the press. But I no doubt we'll be talking about that a little bit later on. But that German team there definitely was not up to. I mean, the crucial point of that game was the Muller miss. Muller scores, England lose. From he missed that, I thought, you know what? They got this.
Yeah. Yes.
So, you know what I mean? So well done, England. You know what I mean? You got Ukraine tomorrow, so it's looking kind of, but the Ukraine, it won't be easy, but I fully expect England to run out winners.
I think England will win. I think that's a game. I mean, if England blow it at this stage, well, hey. But anyway, people, welcome along. It's a quick Friday night as usual. We are in the middle of two games. The current game going on now, Switzerland versus Spain. The all-conquering Swiss pulled a goal back, went to extra time, and then here we go. The curse of the English referee sent off a Swiss player, and then they're currently playing extra time. So another, 24 minutes left of that game to see if it goes to penalties. Let's hope that Swiss hold them out. So yeah, welcome along. Fixtureless show, myself, Daddy Ernie, and our guests. Another Friday night. And it's a bit strange, Ernie, because the Euros, the tournament itself, watching the Euros, there's so much excitement for me before the games. I actually watch the games and really get into the games. And, you know, a lot of people say the games are boring, what have you. But I actually love the tactical battles. I love the way the managers use their bench, which is something we're not used to in the Premiership. Yeah. And then when it comes to doing the show here on Friday night, I'm like, what are we going to talk about? Well, I don't know if you have that same feeling, but I'm here and we're live. You
know that. Well, I did say, Robbo, last week, the excitement is not like every week with the Premiership and all that. And to tell you honest truth, this Euros, it hasn't really been exciting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you look,
I think it's been exciting. I think personally, I think it's missed star names.
Yeah,
that's what the Euros has missed to me. Yeah, just big names to light the tournament up. We just haven't had big names.
Yeah,
we're talking about Jordan Shaqiri and
and what's the guy who plays for the Ukraine who can't even get into the West Ham team. He plays the West Ham way, but he can't even get into the team. The forward, the guy who plays up front for the Ukraine.
And also, we're talking about Granit Xhaka.
Yes.
Who Arsenal fans? Talk to me. Granit Xhaka. Damn.
You know that. So put your comments in the bottom. What you think? Does Arsenal get rid of Granit Xhaka? Does what's your boy from Liverpool who's been scoring a few goals for Switzerland?
Well, he scored the equalizer, Jordan Shaqiri. And it's funny because, as I said, I watched the Euros and I watched the way the international managers have a system, like obviously like most club team managers, but the way they have to use their bench more. And it's like you have to use the bench in the Euros. You have to get through this tournament. You have to get through 4 games or 3 games in 12 days. You have to use the bench. And the way they have players that you wouldn't naturally expect to play in the position that they play, and they do so well, i.e. Jordan Shaqiri. Liverpool can never find a place in the team to play him as a number 10 because we don't play a system where Shaqiri can play behind a front player or 2 because we have 3 gunmen. So it's difficult to find a place for him. But you watch him playing for Switzerland, you're thinking, wow, what a fantastic player.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a lot
Alpine Messi, they call him. We don't call him that at Liverpool.
It'd be interesting to see what Klopp does in the Premiership next season because he's having quite a good Euro. So it'd be very interesting to see what
I think he goes. I think most players that do well in the Euros, if they are not having a great time in their clubs, I think those are the types of players that you just take all the money you can get for them and just move them along. Just move along. Move along.
So hold on, Robbo. So what does Foden go then?
Well, no. I mean, Foden plays, so we can't say Foden goes because he's obviously starting ahead of our star man Raheem Sterling, and until things change at Manchester City, until Foden starts his first few games and his form dips, and that will be Raheem's in. It'll be interesting how they start the season because the way Raheem Sterling is playing now, it looks like he never lost form any time at all. He's still England's star man since the likes of Wayne Rooney
and Shearer, the fairy.
Yeah, I mean he has to be England's most consistent player since Rooney.
Yeah,
and as much as people talk about Rooney this, Rooney that, Rooney was very, very consistent for club and country.
Yeah, but when you got a team set up for an individual player, then they can't really not be the star player. England set up really for Rooney as much as it's set up for Shearer and the likes before. Whereas this team here now, you got some quick players up front, apart from Harry Strain, and quick coming from the midfield as well. So it's any man can do a little thing. You know what I mean?
Well, he's not been doing his little thing, has he, Harry Strain, man? He's struggling, man. He is struggling.
I thought he missed that goal because he seemed to fall over and the ball hit his head for the second goal. You know what I mean? But look, we want you to follow us. Share on Facebook if you're on YouTube. Subscribe. Put in your comments at the bottom of the page. We want to know if Granit Xhaka from Arsenal
should be captain of Arsenal.
And you know what I've been looking for as well? Our other man at Arsenal, what's his name again? Cedric. I thought he was playing for Switzerland.
No, Cedric's Portuguese.
Oh wow!
Apparently, unless it's another Cedric, like Cedric, the guy who drives the Amazon van. If it's that Cedric, I couldn't tell you where he comes from. I think he comes from Albania. That Cedric.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought Cedric would make an appearance, but we haven't seen him yet. I don't think
there's quite a few players that haven't made an appearance, and namely one who's just signed a massive deal with Manchester United. Your boy Sancho. Has anybody seen Sancho? Have you seen Sancho?
I can't understand why he hasn't been playing, or at least he hasn't got on the field.
Unbelievable.
I don't know what's happening there. Even our other player at Manchester United who feeds the kids, Rashford. He's been scared. I think Rashford's
understandable because he was carrying something into the tournament.
Yeah.
But Sancho, he was just on fire at Dortmund, and it hasn't turned up. And if you look at the form of someone like Foden, equally German fans and people that watch the Bundesliga would say he's one of the form players. Second half of the season in the Bundesliga, even though they didn't win the title, but he's been one of the form players for at least 2 to 3 seasons. So got yourself a great player there, man.
Well, let's hope so, because we've had some players there in the past who's come with big reputation and popped down. Di Maria, to name one, he came there with big reputation and popped down after a few months. Martial come with a big reputation as well, and he's been found wanting a little bit, apart from a couple of seasons ago when he bagged over 20 odd goals. But that aside, he's been found wanting. So, fingers crossed, Sancho come and does the business. Man City's happy because they're going to get 10 million from the deal. So
I think he does the business because he's not a luxury player. If you watch him for Dortmund, he's not a luxury player. He plays in a position like you either make things happen or you work. And he's Dortmund's system it's pretty much like it's very, very, very close to Liverpool when you watch Dortmund. Klopp left that system. The new managers have come and inherited that style where your players have got to work hard. Your front three's got to work hard. So he slides into the front three. Haaland's gonna miss him because he provides that. Even though Haaland's a beast and provides his own goals, but he provides lots of goals for Haaland. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens to Dortmund. But they still have the player I think we're all going to be fighting over, the 18-year-old Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
He's like Saka's the one. This kid is the one.
Yeah, but Bellingham hasn't even made an appearance here yet. I mean, he came on for the first game, I think, for a few minutes, but he hasn't really got into the team. It looked like Phillips is keeping him out. And Phillips
I think the moment that guy breaks into the England team, good night, everybody else. A bit like how Saka's shown that it'll be very difficult to dislodge Saka in the England team, even though he ran out of legs because he's a young player. He was very tired in the German game. He'd done so much running. But you'd start any game now and you'd definitely think that guy will do a job for us. As we've been saying all season throughout the show, what he does at Arsenal. He's an unbelievable young player. So well done, Saka also, who set the tone in that game against Germany. Germany didn't know what to do. They were like, what the hell do we do with this guy?
Well, I think to be honest, Robert, in the first 15, 20 minutes, I thought Germany had the best of it, really. But once England worked out what was going on, they kind of grew into the game. But
I think the front, I wouldn't say the front three. I think the two holding midfielders, Declan Rice and Phillips, understood how far forward they can actually play. They understood the space. They could see how much space they stepped off Toni Kroos, and then you could see the light bulb spark up with Sterling and Saka. They were like, "Oh, okay, all this for us."
Yeah,
and that was it. They turned Germany around and it went from Germany looking really positive into it could have gone anyway. The game, a lot of people say they have criticized the game, saying it was boring, but there was a lot of running. If you did the stats in that game, those players, man, they ran a lot. And I was really impressed with the German midfielder, the Bayern Munich German midfielder, the big boy.
Something beginning with G.
Yes.
Yeah. Something beginning with G. Goshi or something.
Yeah.
Like he looks like a star in the making. He looks like a bit of a Zidane type kind of player.
Yeah. He's a big baller. Him and Thiago used to play in the center for Bayern. They won Champions League with him in the middle. Big baller. Toni Kroos has just announced his retirement, so we say farewell to the great Toni Kroos. He's going to concentrate on his career at Real Madrid. He looked a bit wanting. You could see the age was in his legs. He just couldn't
couldn't keep up.
And I think that's what done them. It was, few players that was.
I firmly believe that had Muller scored that goal.
Oh yeah,
that would have made a completely different. There'd been a completely different outcome. But probably it was written in the stars. You know what I mean? That England was to win that. It's 55 years of hurt. Put to bed.
You hurting? You still hurting, Ernie? You still hurting? Hurt, not. Well, Ernie, why don't you just admit it? Just admit it, man. You're hurt. You was hurt for 55 years. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about personally.
All I know, people remember us, the Euros, for Robbo Ranks playing "It's Coming Home, It's Coming Home."
I'm working with the crowd. Hey, and it's time for us to work with the crowd because we have our learned friends on the show and guests who are going to basically take over the show. Because I mean, what do I know? I've still got my eyes on the football. I couldn't tell you the backstory, but I'm sure they can. Crystal Davis is in the house, also Robert White.
Yes.
And let's welcome them on the show. Fixture list Friday night. Hey people, if you're watching right now, and obviously you disagree mostly with Daddy Ernie, drop your comments underneath because I'm noticing we're not getting a lot of the comments. If you are watching, drop a comment. If you're not dropping a comment, just drop a thumbs up for Robbo or 2. Drop me 2 thumbs up.
She's Talawa. She's here, Crystal Davis from Talawa TV. And if you want to know all about salsa dancing, Robert's your man from Mambo City.
There you go. Ernie drifting away from the subject matter as usual. He's gone off into salsa. This is why we're not getting no likes in it, Ernie. I hope you don't start talking about the air fryer tonight.
Oh, you know that, bruv. We're putting that to the test this weekend, man. It's air fryer weekend this weekend. You know what I mean? I'll let you know. You know what I mean?
What's up, guys?
Good. I'm here keeping an eye on the hurricane that's currently in Barbados at the moment. And it's expected to be heading towards Jamaica in the next 48 hours. So thoughts and prayers for everyone in the Caribbean. And hopefully there's no loss of life and everyone can just make it out safe.
It's a bit unusual for us to have a hurricane this time of year in hurricanes pop up anytime, but normally it's later down in the year we have like the official hurricane season. But obviously, as they say, global warming waits on no man. So maybe the place warmed up enough so that there's a hurricane. And obviously the heat that's going on in Canada right now is absolutely unreal. They show the heat map of the state of parts of Canada, and you're wondering, like, who lit the fire down there? So hurricanes, heat, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's not a good outlook. You know what I mean?
Not a good outlook. Global warming at its best. Believe it, people.
And of course, our man Robert has been studying hard, and one of his lads getting married this weekend, so it's full on in Robert's house. Pure craziness.
Didn't know all that was going on in Robert's household. Why are you bothering Robert, man? Robert, have you got your suit ready?
It's hectic, man. It's really hectic. I've got to go and pack my suit straight after the show.
Robert, can I ask you something? Because maybe I'm going to be in this position soon. Did you hire or did you buy it?
What suit?
Yeah.
I bought my suit.
Easy.
I bought my suit over a year ago. Because of lockdown, the wedding got cancelled until this year.
Okay.
So you can imagine what's happened, what's been going on. We've had a year, right, of self-isolation, sitting down, and now we've come up to the wedding. I have to go and
can't figure.
Yeah, you know what's happening. Right? That's the fit.
So we got hurricanes and we got fire, and Robert can't find him a suit to fit him. What's going on? That's lightweight problems, Rob.
But it's also things weren't that bad. Yeah.
Okay. So, Crystal, what's been happening in the football world? What you got for us this week?
I was focusing on Raheem Sterling. I know you guys have touched on him earlier on. And I thought it was no surprise when you check the front pages of the English press following England's win against Germany, and to no surprise, or maybe to some surprise, the only one that's got Raheem Sterling on the front is the Sun newspaper.
Ernie's favorite rag, mate.
They've gone with Lord Harry Kane. That was no surprise to me, but it just speaks volumes, doesn't it? They could easily have gone with Raheem Sterling, because without Sterling's performance, England wouldn't even be in the knockout stage. It wouldn't even get within touching distance of beating their fierce rivals, Germany. But for me, again, it just speaks volumes of the repeated disrespect that Raheem Sterling continues to receive from the media.
Can we have a look at the screenshot of the newspapers again? Now, I don't really read newspapers as such. I do tap in online, but as you said, the Sun newspaper being the only one of the obvious, but I wouldn't expect to see Raheem on the front of the Daily Mail, definitely not the Daily Telegraph, and definitely the Daily Express, but the other newspapers as well. I mean, yeah, shame on you. It's just it's typical of the British media. They were the ones that were pushing and trying to keep that narrative going. That, you know, this guy is a wrong, as they would say, he's a wrong un. He's a wrong un. He is, and he's turned out to be an absolute star, which we all knew he was from the first time he pulled on the England shirt. You could see this kid was destined to be a massive player for England. But I think when he actually arrived at the World, I think it was the World Cup in South Africa. Was it the South Africa World Cup? He first came into the England squad.
The 17.
Would it not have been 2014? I feel like it might have been Brazil.
Brazil, beg your pardon. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. That World Cup, I get my World Cups. It's because England do so bad in them. They all feel the same. Yeah. When he turned up, you could almost see that the ability of this young guy for England, and he was playing alongside Wayne Rooney, and it was even then
obvious.
Made Rooney look very average, you know, very, very average. But, you know, they're young footballers and you want to see how they progress. Now he's 26 years old, and you can clearly see if he wasn't Raheem Sterling, he would be Lord Raheem Sterling, MBE, probably, even more than the MBE. Sir Raheem.
I think a lot of people, we got to give credit to the managers as well that give these, that know to bring the right selection of players through. And I keep talking about this guy, but I think Southgate has done a lot, really, in terms of giving opportunities for a lot of the players. I haven't seen so many young players have come out and been given the opportunity to shine like that. When you think that we've got players on the bench like Rashford and like Sancho, and look at that, the pair, United now, but. The thing is, when you got these two players that can't get on the pitch because you got ahead of them, Saka, who just come up out of nowhere, this guy's come and he's there playing on the right. He kept Sancho out of the game, but this guy deserves his place. But he would have never gotten that opportunity with previous managers. Not like that. They would have stayed. They would have stayed with their faithfuls that they would have kept in for years. But you know, Southgate just brings them in. On the left, you know, he's brought Sterling into play on the left. That's keeping out Rashford on the left. But just think about this for a moment, right? If you've got these players in, if a manager wants to change a team in the second half, think about the quality and attack that they've got on the bench that they can bring on. And that just shows you something that we've never had in an England team when you say the depth of talented players that can do that. But these players have been able to do that because they've been given the opportunity, and they've got a manager that believes in them. And he's a manager that's been with these guys from a young level, from coming up from under 21s, because he used to look after the under 21s. So he got to the semi-final of the World Cup, and he's got to the quarter-final of this, and he's got a very good chance of getting to the semi-finals. And I think that he should be commended on it, you know. And I really want to see this team do well, particularly because of the talented guys that are in it, that I believe should get the credit for winning or trying to get to a final, the first final since the '66 World Cup. Yeah, that's like over 50 years, or even winning it, you know, winning something. But I think this squad deserves something, and for Darren for Gareth Southgate, I would like to see them come through and win something like that to show a manager that's given these players opportunity and these players have grasped it and come through and believed in themselves.
Well,
so I think
I'll tell you what, Rob, if they win it, you can let us see your England shirt, because I know you've got an England shirt with your DJ name. Here we go. And on the back, it's got DJ Cruz as well. So no doubt if they win it, they'll be popping that down.
Yeah.
no, what it is.
Hey, bring back that Manchester United backdrop, man.
Listen, all right, I'm gonna show you something, right? Now my son bought me this for Father's Day 2 weeks ago. It's Father's Day. You
need to tell him to take it back. He'll be taking that back soon. Don't worry about that.
Father's Day's present. But let me show you this backdrop, if you see this for a moment, and you can tell me if you can work.
Are you denying that you bought that shirt, Robert?
I only saw it. I sent it to him as soon as I got it. It's Father's Day's present. You see this backdrop here?
Is that Southgate's waistcoat you got
there?
Ernie,
that was it.
Hey!
Taken in 2018 for the World Cup. The waistcoat.
You're gone too far.
It was a joke at the time because we was having jokes. So I put my United shirts up on a waistcoat. So it was funny at the time. But
Ernie, what say you? Because I know you're he's an undercover England lover. What do you say about Gareth Southgate? Would you give him the same amount of credit as our friend Robert, or do you think that this is just? What's your opinion? I'll give you my opinion.
No, I would give Southgate credit for giving the players opportunities, definitely. Because if it was Sven or any of that lot, they wouldn't have got that opportunity. The press.
Who's that lot? Sam Allardyce.
Yeah, and the brolly. I'm surprised that they haven't got the man with the wally with the brolly. McLaren, they haven't dug him out yet. But if they was managing the side, the press would have probably picked that side. This Southgate is not business about what the press is saying. He's doing it his way. Win, lose, or draw, he's doing it his way. And like Robert said, a lot of the players, he knows them from the under-21 and he trusts them. And then a few has come up along the way, i.e. like Saka, Bellingham, and that. And I like how he's going on, but I still don't think they've got enough to win it. There's something in the back of my mind that says to me, not yet. I think I always said it from day one, it's France or Belgium to lose. France has gone, so I think it's Belgium to lose. My outside bet, Italy, they're still there. They could go tonight. They're still there. They're my outside bet. So I've still got 2 out of 3 left. But I don't see England winning it for some unknown reason.
I want to bring up a point as well. Do you remember when you said, Robbo, that you think the experienced managers will have a say in in winning this? Like the big managers. And with the France team, did you notice something that Deschamps made, the mistake that he made in that game?
I think he made quite a few mistakes in that game.
He made a few mistakes.
Playing 3 at the back.
No. Who did he take off before they went?
Griezmann.
Right, before the 90 minutes, he took off Griezmann.
Yep.
And they equalised. And then it went into extra time. And then after that, Benzema got injured.
Yep.
And his 2 top strikers were off the pitch for the whole of extra time.
Yeah.
And Koeman was running short.
Yeah. So that was the mistake that a manager made. In taking off Griezmann, he shouldn't have made that move, and that really was one of the.
Wasn't Griezmann taken off at 3-1, or was it 3-2? I think he was taken off at 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah.
I would say just on that note there, and really good to bring that up. I would say if I was 3-1 up. And I looked like I was winning the game, I would be tempted to take off one of my strikers and bring on a midfielder. I would probably do that. So maybe he done that, but again, the second the substitution of
what minute
Benzema.
what minute was it he took him off?
I'm not sure, but I remember when he came up because he wasn't happy, old Griezmann. But he was having an okay game, but you wouldn't have thought Kingsley Coleman for Griezmann would affect the team. But what definitely affected the team was, for me, from the start, was the staticness at the back. Not being able to play the ball. They thought, well, okay, we've got Kante, we've got Pogba, they can take the ball out. And what happened? They just froze. It was the first half was a bit of a shambles. Longley, and he doesn't play very well at Barcelona. I was so surprised to see him playing in the middle. But you see it happen and you think, well, Deschamps knows his players.
Yeah.
And it completely
what do you think on it? We're not getting much from Crystal. Crystal, what's your take on the France defeat? I think, before we go to Crystal, I think that penalty should have been retaken because the keeper moved. Am I right?
Swiss's penalty.
Yeah. The one that the keeper saved from Mbappe. I think the keeper moved before he struck the ball.
Well, you're clutching at straws, Ernie. You're clutching at straws.
250,000 people on Facebook. There must be something to it.
Was it English referee? Was it English ref? I think Michael Oliver just done a boo-boo with Switzerland. I'm hoping Switzerland go through. They got how many minutes left, Crystal?
Yeah, so I'm keeping my eye on the game. We're going through to penalties. They've just completed. They've just completed.
Well, Ernie, you can see if he keeps his foot on the line, they'll be able. They've got VAR and they've got Michael Oliver, a Premiership referee. So anything can go wrong from here, mate.
Wow. Oh well, I haven't been watching it, so VAR check though, Ernie Harriott. Oh yeah, did they check? I don't know if VAR checked because my VAR says he moved.
Yeah, but was his foot on the line? Not
to me. His foot was off the line to me.
Well, if his foot was off the line, that penalty wouldn't have counted, Ernie.
Well, it shouldn't have. It shouldn't have. And I think if you go back on YouTube and look at it, you will agree with me. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure you can move. I just don't think. I think you have to have one foot
on the line. But I don't think one foot was on the line. I don't think one foot was on the line.
Anyway.
I think it actually speaks volumes that we're here debating on whether or not France should have gone through based off Mbappe's
miss,
decisive miss. Mbappe's decisive miss. Like,
because we're all France fans, that's why. We're all silent France fans. I wanted France to win.
It's like, yeah, same. I'm just like you guys, but in hindsight, we just can't take nothing away from the Swiss because they thoroughly deserve their victory. Yeah. And I don't know about you guys, but when I was watching the game, I was like, when they went ahead, it's like, this doesn't feel good. And then when France came to it in the second 45, I was like, okay, this is more like it. You're playing like world champions. And when Swiss equalized in the second half, I was like, that's it. They're definitely gonna beat them. Sometimes you can get that with your team, like whether it's your club team or your national side. You can kind of sense that, the result's not gonna go the way they wanted. But the Swiss were well disciplined, committed, and for me, they just deserve.
I would say this for all supporters of France, and obviously the team, and I wouldn't give up on France because what really transpired in those matches was the amount of games France played in short time. And if you look at the games they played,
they were FA Cup games.
Big games. Even though the game meant nothing, they should have. I was hoping that between Portugal and Spain, Portugal and France, they would have slowed down, but they couldn't because of obviously Hungary, Germany. And Germany as well went through the mill. They've had some really rough games. So England's come up against a leggy Germany. So the games before has definitely played some part in the results. I honestly believe France, the amount of games France played had an effect.
Do you guys think? Sorry, Daddy Ernie.
Go on.
Do you guys think that the argument between Giroud and Mbappe, do you guys think that had a negative impact on the squad? And also, like, it's been like a few allegations that's going around on social media that Mbappe's father and Rabiot's mom, who is his agent, they were
Pogba's mum, you know.
Yeah, like they were having a go at each other in the stands. So it seems like
I think these things happen every day in football.
For the French.
I think these things happen every day in football, and a lot of people trying to stoke up a lot of flame with Mbappe having an ego. Name me any kid that you know, 22 years old, won the World Cup. Any kid that's done anything notable that don't have a big ego. You have to have a big ego to be a player like that, to be playing at Paris Saint-Germain, turning up, rocking up at Champions League finals, World Cup finals. He's a big player. So him having an ego, I mean, you that could be, you could cast that on any footballer. Any football for any particular club will have an ego. And it's good that he has an ego. And I'm glad his ego was bruised. And I'm hoping that he will learn from it and come back a better player. And people, beware for the Mbappe bite back. It's going to be fierce. Trust me.
You know, in my opinion, 15 minutes to go, you're world champions and you're winning 3-1. You're supposed to see that game out. It should never got penalties. 3-1, 50 minutes to go.
I think they were knackered, mate.
No. What it was, to me, they were showboating a lot of the time rather than just trying to be ruthless and decisive. That's what they should have been doing.
I couldn't say. We all know the player who was showboating, but even him, I wouldn't. You know, people jumped on him and said, "Oh, he lost the ball in the middle of the park." Yeah, well, you lose the ball.
I wouldn't go.
I'm just saying, people are accusing him of losing the ball in the middle of the park, and I'm like, and you know, you got defenders there. I think he would be probably the only person that would be doing a lot of showboating, but I didn't see much of that. I just saw that they come up against a spirited Swiss team, and I think the spirit of the Swiss, at the end of the day, got them through.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's knockout football.
The Swiss played as a unit more towards the end of the second half. They played as a team because they knew what they were up against. You know, so they really pulled it out. They knew they were up against it. They raised their level for that game. They did. But prior to that, if you look at the Swiss's record, you know, they came out of their group scoring 4, conceding 5, you know, in third spot. And they came up against France. You know, so they actually raised their level. And they raised their level for that game and actually and won it. But they had to play as a team. I think with France, they needed to play more as a team. They were when they were 1 down. But I think as they started to get ahead, that's when you start to take your foot off the pedal. And I think that's what they did. They took the foot off the pedal.
But what you said about the substitutions, I believe that might have played a part after Benzema was taken off.
Benzema got injured, so he had to go off. You know, he had to go off. And you already made yourself.
What's that, Crystal?
Ooh.
Oh.
So Spain missed their first penalty, and now we've had Switzerland who's also missed a penalty.
Oh my gosh.
The heat is on. The heat is on.
Very well and truly on. So they both missed a penalty each.
It weren't that Morata Crystal, it weren't that Morata. It wasn't Morata that missed the penalty. He's been pathetic, hasn't he?
I didn't see the first penalty.
I think it was Juan Mata.
Oh, Jesus, they've missed another penalty.
Spain?
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it Busquets that missed that penalty?
I think so, yeah. I think it was Busquets. He's the captain, isn't he?
Yeah.
Dear me.
Well, keep us updated. There's a few more to go. Well, I won't say who I want to win. I'm quite happy whichever team wins. So we talked enough about England and we talked enough about France. The game tomorrow. Robert, what's your opinion and what's your thoughts about this draw? That basically, I think if this game goes tits up for any team, I think this game possibly the finalists are in this game and their names are on the cup. As well as your team in your blue shirt.
Well, look at that. You're talking about the Belgium-Italy game, right?
Yeah.
Now, both of them were my teams, the ones that we were selected out, right? And it was the dark. Well, this is going to be a tough game. But as we said, Italy, up until they got to the last 16, they hadn't conceded a goal. Well, they conceded the goal for the first time. So they're coming up against stiffer opposition and they're having to play for it. But the thing is, Italy has got form against Belgium. Here's some stats that I pulled out on it, the insights. He said this will be the 5th meeting between Belgium and Italy at a major tournament.
Yeah.
All 4 previous meetings came in the group stages in the 1954 World Cup and the European Championship of 1980 and 2000 and 2016. Italy avoided defeat in all 4 matches, winning 3 and drawing 1. So they got form against them. Against no side of Belgium played more games at a major tournament without winning than Italy. Yeah. So they're not having a good record against them. So Italy have reached the quarterfinal of European Championships for a 4th consecutive tournament. Each of those previous 3 appearances at this stage have been decided by penalty shootouts. With the Italians eliminated in Spain in 2008 and Germany in 2016, while progressing past England in 2012. Indeed, that accounts for 3 of the last 5 European Championship penalty shootouts, more than the nation prior to 2020. So they're specialists in the penalty shootouts, and they always seem to get it. But that was in Italy of the past. We know this Italy.
Yeah, this Italy, yeah. It's a different Italian team. How's the score looking, Crystal? Where are we at now?
Just waiting for the scoreboard to show up on my screen at the moment. Switzerland have missed 3 penalties and Spain have missed 2. They're both about to take their last penalty from the first round.
So if Italy score, they win, innit? If they've missed 2 and Switzerland missed 3, then So if Spain score this one, they win.
There's some terrible penalties going on here. Absolutely awful.
From what I'm hearing from what I'm seeing on my phone, is like some schoolboy like they're playing at King Edward's Park.
God, these penalties are awful. The miss I just saw that from the Swiss defender. Oh, the blaze over the bar one. Oh my God. The worst set of penalties I've seen in a long time.
They've turned it around, guys. They've beaten Switzerland on penalties.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Lucky Spain.
Very lucky indeed.
And they played a 10-man Swiss side for all of extra time.
Mm-hmm.
Well done, Switzerland, for
the captain Granit Xhaka missing. So
yeah, Arsenal's impressive Granit Xhaka.
Very impressive. It's just a shame
he plays for Arsenal.
He's going to be sold, isn't he? They're going to sell him now.
Yeah, he's going to go to Roma to play with
You get a few more zeros behind. You get a couple more zeros for Granit Xhaka.
If they had, there's not much common sense at Arsenal, so I doubt it. The fee that I'm seeing at the moment is like 20 million euros. So what is that when he's put in such a sublime performance?
17 million pounds
in France.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael Williams makes a point. In my mind, when a penalty is saved, it's not a miss. The keeper needs due credit.
Yeah.
No, not if you play the ball directly, where he can reach it.
Yeah. Yeah. A professional footballer earning £250,000 a week can't score from 12 yards. You got to ask some questions, really, innit? Because all you got to do is just boot it.
I think it says a lot about the players when they miss penalties. I think you should be able to, with your skill sets, you should be able to pick the top corner, or right up above the goalkeeper's head.
Right, at least not.
But Robert, that's why I asked the question earlier on. That do you think that the argument or disagreement between Olivier Giroud and Mbappe played a part in not just France going out, but we can even look at Mbappe's performance, because he didn't find the back of the net, did he? Think he might have scored, but he was then ruled offside or something like that. But he's left the competition without a goal to his name. And also that added pressure of stepping up, knowing that you have to score the decisive penalty.
I've got to be honest with this. My feeling on that is that Mbappe coming to this tournament, but he hasn't been on form from what I could see. And if you look at that match, Pogba, he could have had a hat trick with the amount of chances Pogba created.
Yeah.
He put him clear like 3 or 4 times, and he could have scored. And
but he's not had his best season at PSG either.
Yeah, and I think for someone so young, it's not been a great time. I don't know what it is, but there is something wrong. And people making noise about, look, Mbappe has been doing a lot for charity, and people don't really acknowledge that part of it. And when he first got selected for France, he decided to donate his wages to a charity rather than take it. And that was playing for the French team. Not many players do that sort of stuff. And these things he should be acknowledged for, rather than people trying to look at reasons for why he's not on form, you know, and trying to pin that on something else. He's a young guy, yeah, but young guys go through these sort of things, and what they need is support. But you know, like what our press is like, the French are very much the same, you know, very much the same.
I just don't see how you can front on such a great talent. He's such a talented footballer. Yeah, what he does, he loses the ball, he fights for it back. He's got that. You don't see strikers do that, and at the same time will turn the game around and skin defenders and score quality goals. He's a great footballer. Great footballer.
France didn't lose the game at the penalties. They lost the game because they took their foot off the pedal.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's where they lost that game.
Guys, if you got any comments about the French defeat, please let me hear what you got to say. You've heard what we've all got to say, and of course the penalty taking conversation. Spain slide. You know, they've gone through, but there were some rank, terrible penalties in that game. You'd expect better from these sides, and maybe for the rest of the tournament, I think we'll be looking at a lot more penalties, because this is where tournament football really tightens up. It's really going to tighten up, and nobody's going to want to afford to make mistakes. And as much as England's got this looks like a pass against Ukraine, can you imagine Ukraine just saying, break me down then, I'll see you in the penalty shootout? That's a possibility there, guys.
Yes.
Yarmolenko.
Yarmolenko is the one who played for West Ham, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who plays the West Ham way?
What way is that?
I don't know.
I can't find it.
Anything happening in the world of football, Crystal, that we need to know about? What are you going to tell us? You usually have something hot for us.
That was my take, my mention of Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling was my focus this week, because I just think because of the work that we do on the channel, it's only right, it's fitting to praise Raheem Sterling, since the British media won't do it.
Have we got a picture of Raheem Sterling and his family?
There's a picture of him and his son. Yeah. Little Thiago.
Thiago, yeah, man. Nice little boy. I've met him. He's a nice little boy.
Yeah, nice that should have been on the front of their papers, but sadly not.
Robbo, you're talking rubbish.
Oh, is that Thiago? You said Thiago, yeah? You said about nice little footballer. Is that Thiago?
Yeah.
Hey! Oh. No, let me not say anything.
Not that Thiago, mate. This is an up-and-coming Thiago who's going to play for Jamaica, so you watch this space. Good evening going out to Lyrical Lisa, who is 100% behind Italy. She's Italian.
Wow.
She's made it quite plain that it's all about Italy right now.
Hey, shouts out on Nadine White also. She's putting a story together for the Independent, and it's going to be all about Raheem Sterling. So no, don't worry. He will have his time in the sun. Nadine hasn't dropped the ball. She's putting a story together. And she's going to be.
To be fair, the Daily Fail had a story about Raheem in their centre spread yesterday.
Yeah, but come on, yesterday
when he went to Liverpool, they found these. Apparently, he was staying with a white family. And they had them in there as well. Picture of his mum was in there, family picture, and the story of Raheem coming through. So the Daily Fail had a little something about him. But there's a picture on Facebook with him and his two kids with his wife at the moment. Oh dear me, I forget. How can I forget her name? Paige. Yep, and also of his daughter by another relationship, and it's a right proper family picture.
But it's not in the newspapers. No,
it's not in the newspaper. No, they can't have that in the newspaper, can they? They can't have a black man with a family and a Christmas tree in the background and all that business.
Yeah, they can have Obama. you guys had Obama.
Yeah, but Obama Obama was running the world. You know what I mean? Raheem
so it's Raheem.
Yeah, he's just running England. You know what I mean? You know, so yeah, man. So
hey, one of the things that came out in one of the stories about Raheem, which I actually didn't know. I didn't know his mum was a sprinter. She was an athlete.
Nor did I.
Yeah, well, she wasn't. His right. When people talk about Raheem's running style, he says that he owes a lot to his mum. So, you know, he's got that pigeon style run, but his mum was pretty quick, and so she was an athlete, and yeah, he owes a lot to his speed to his mother. So big up Raheem Sterling, Mummy Sterling.
Sterling. So
yeah.
What we're saying, we've got about what have we got? We've got about 10 minutes left.
And the next game is going to be starting. Lord jeez, can we get a prediction on the game tonight?
It's Belgium.
Yeah, let's have.
Have we got any prediction right so far?
Yeah,
we haven't, have we?
I have. England against Germany.
No, Daddy Ernie.
No, he did. He did. To be fair,
2-1.
He did say.
No, I said that England was going to win that game.
No, I'm talking about score predictions.
Oh no.
We hardly ever get score predictions right, but to be fair, that's the only one Ernie's got right. But we know why Ernie got that right, because he was willing them on, like Ernie was doing his Ernie Geller, Yuri Geller. He had his England shirt on. I phoned him, just to check in on him. I said, Ernie, you all right? And he was like, he's trying to put it on, like, yeah, just watching the match. I said, Ernie, come on, man. I'm pretty sure your neighbors could hear you. One of your neighbors checked in and said, Ernie's screaming the house down. So I checked in on Ernie, and Ernie was like, yeah, just watching the match. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah.
I was doing other things, and I just
you was well into the match, man. You was well into the match.
No way.
So Belgium, Italy tonight. Robert, what do you reckon? Let's hope it doesn't go to penalties. If it doesn't go to penalties, what do you think the score's going to be?
Well, Italy has a tight back. And I don't know if Hazard's going to be playing or not, because he went off.
He's not. Apparently, he's not playing.
He's not playing.
Apparently,
I reckon it's going to be 2-1 Belgium. That's what I'm
okay. We'll get this. We'll get the team selection in a second. I'll pull it up. You reckon it's a 2-1 Belgium?
Yeah, I reckon it's 2-1 Belgium.
Crystal, what's your thoughts?
I've got all my score predictions wrong so far, so I kind of feel like it's so pointless. I've been saying 2-1 all along. I'm going to stick with my 2-1. I want 2-1 Belgium. So hopefully they can see that game out.
Yeah, as I said, Hazard hasn't made it.
Yeah.
De Bruyne has managed to get in. There was an injury doubt. He's in the team. Same back line. Vertonghen's in the back line. Duco, very interesting player. Watched it, number 25 for Belgium. This guy could be coming to the Premiership. Any team grabs this kid. He's an outside left. He's quick. He's rapid. He's direct. There's a lot of teams pacing up and down to see if he will look at their contract. So watch out for him. So Crystal, what do you reckon? What did you say? What did you say the score you reckon?
I would like 2-1 Belgium, but they've obviously got two significant injury, don't they? Hazard and also Kevin De Bruyne as well. He's not 100% fit.
De Bruyne's playing. De Bruyne's going to play.
Yeah, he's playing, but he's not 100% fit for the match. But I'm sure he'll give it his best. But hopefully he won't pick up any slight injury, because if that's the case, then he's going to get substituted off. Well, and then we have to leave the most of the work down to Lukaku.
Well, Ernie, Chiellini's back. The wall is back for Italy.
Busy. Now you've got to be careful here, because you see, Italy has this habit, right, of when Italy comes up in these competitions, they are master of the dark arts of bending and taking out your special player. I don't know if you remember when Italy played in the World Cup against France, and the first thing they did right at the start of the match was to knock out Henry, right, to knock him out and try and take him out of the game. Yeah. And then they tried it on with Zidane, and
yeah. You know how that ended.
and get a man sent off. So they're masters of the dark arts.
Hey, and Lukaku plays in Italy, so they got every line for him. He'll understand every single line. So Bonucci and Chiellini is back.
Yeah.
And that's a formidable back line. I mean, Chiellini, even a half-fit Chiellini. I've seen Chiellini play on one leg.
Yeah.
He is a monster of a wall. So he's back. It's the same squad, but they've started with the young Chiesa, who is the fans' favorite. He's like their Raheem Sterling, but he actually starts this time. That might be a problem for them going forward, because who knows if he fails. But they're going for it's an attacking, guns out Italy. It's not the same Italy as we spoke about a few weeks ago, but they've got their Spinazzola at the back, Di Lorenzo, Bonucci and Chiellini, and it's very much the same midfield. It's a very solid, efficient Italian team coming up against I would say a very leggy Belgium. My score prediction, but let Ernie, what's your score prediction?
No, I'm going 2-1 Belgium with Lukaku to score. Even though, and with De Bruyne, I didn't think that De Bruyne was going to make it, actually. Now that you're telling me that De Bruyne is actually going to be playing, I can see Belgium running out 2-1 winners on that one as well. I'll be surprised if they lost.
I'm thinking it's going to be a score draw and it goes to extra time. I think it goes to penalties.
And penalties, yeah.
But I think they both score. Italy will score.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
Belgium's back line is not as strong as you think.
No, I don't think it's at all. We said this the other day. They got an aging back line.
Yeah, they've gone back for Vertonghen.
Yeah, they got an aging back line.
Vertonghen against Insigne and Chiesa. It's a runaround, bro. I'm telling you.
You're right.
What is their backline? Vertonghen and the other. What's the other?
They go free at they go free at the back. Vermaelen's 35. Vermaelen cannot look. I mean, I wouldn't say. I just don't. Vermaelen is a 35-year-old. He's had crazy injuries. These guys are really quick in Immobile. You've got Alderweireld and Vertonghen, Vermaelen. That's about combined age of about 270. But their fullbacks going forward, Meunier and Hazard's brother are very rapid. But I think those three are easy. You can get at those three. Those three at the back. And Italy play free going forward. These guys are going to be occupied, bro.
Yeah, and Italy, they don't lose the ball. Those players, they keep the ball and they tight control.
In tight spaces. Jorginho, Verratti and Jorginho are technicians, man. They are probably two of the best technicians in the whole competition. And we lost Kroos, he's gone. So you're talking about real technicians as midfielders. I think it's going to be a score. Yeah, I think you can't stop Lukaku.
But the one thing is, Italy hasn't played a team like this at this level yet. This is their big test as well. I think the momentum wise, it will take them into it.
Yeah, but listen, I think it's going to be a score draw and it goes to penalties. And if it goes to penalties, what would I think on penalties? I'd say Italy win on penalties, but that's just my prediction. And I don't want them to because I want Belgium to run true.
This is also a good game for Youri Tielemans to show up because he hasn't shown up yet, has he? So
he's played okay. He's a young player.
Well, I'm talking about being the standout player. Like I'm talking man of the match performance. Here I am. Because much of the talk so far has been about Lukaku, rightly so.
How old is Tielemans? He's only about 23, 24.
Let me double check his age.
23, isn't he?
Well, I tell you what,
he's up against Jorginho.
He's up against Jorginho and Verratti. He ain't seen the ball.
So how come you're going for Italy? How come you're going for Belgium with 2-1? Because according to you,
no, I didn't know. I said it's going to be a score draw. I think it's going to go to penalties, Ernie. I reckon they both will score. Lukaku's playing and De Bruyne. Their man will brought down. They will brought down and get goals. They will get goals. But I think Italy will get goals too, and I can't really decide in 90 minutes. So I say I'm going with penalties. I'm going Italy penalties.
My thing is just the level. I remember when Italy played Wales, they could only put one past Wales. You know, they could only put one past Wales, and then they went on, and the next game they managed to score 2, but they conceded 1.
Yeah, but Wales was playing 9 man behind the ball with Bale up top. It's a different thing when you're playing Belgium. They don't have to play 9 men behind the ball. They put 6 men behind the ball, and the other 4 see you later. You ain't seen them. Well, it's gonna be a hard game, but we don't know. Well, that's my prediction anyway. I'm you know, I would really like to see Belgium go through, but I'm not going to take any credit away from Italy. They've been nothing less than sensational in this tournament for a team that's just been put together in the running into this Euro, and they've proved to be. I think Italy are going to be here, like you said, Robert, last week. They're going to be here for a long time, mate. This team.
Yeah.
So. All right, so we've dealt with them. So until the big match tomorrow, there's another match going on tomorrow as well, though, isn't there? There's Denmark against Czech Republic.
There's 2 matches tomorrow.
Yeah, Czechoslovakia against Denmark. How do you see that going?
Denmark go through, mate.
Yeah,
the Danes are going through, mate.
Crystal's not too sure.
No, I'm agreeing. Denmark are on a high at the moment, aren't they? They're playing,
and they're playing good football, man.
Yeah. So
hey, it's Braithwaite Danish Jamaican. Can you find out, Crystal? Can you find out if Braithwaite, the guy who plays?
Because of his surname.
Yeah, is he?
I think maybe he might have Bajan in him, but let me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Braithwaite's normally Bajan, in it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you think about like Denmark. Denmark finished second in the group. They're in the same group as Belgium, weren't they?
Yeah.
You know, and they scored coming into this. They scored. I think they scored 4 in the group, conceded 4, and they scored 5, conceded 4, and then they came up against Wales and put 4 past them, didn't they?
Yeah.
They beat Wales 4-0. So they're starting to get momentum going now, you know, and they lost Eriksen. Well, I mean, Eriksen in a bad way. So,
but they used to rely a lot on Eriksen. Then I don't know if that's freed the system up for Denmark.
But I think they've got momentum with them, and they really want to win badly.
Yeah, they want to win it for him.
They won it before, so they can do it again.
Yeah. So what do we say? Denmark to win?
I reckon Denmark wins. I'd be surprised if Czech Republic. They've been turning up. They've got this striker that seems to everything he touch hits the back of the net. Is it Sheik?
Yeah,
Sheik. Yeah. He could do it, that dance. Yeah, Sheik's getting on terrible. But obviously, the game that we're more concerned about on Saturday, 8:00, England versus Ukraine. Ernie, quick score prediction before we go.
3-1 England. Sterling to score. Probably Harry Strain will get one as well. And if Saka starts, I think he'll notch one as well.
Crystal?
I'm going to go 3-0 England.
Wow. What is 3-0? You guys are confident on goals, isn't it? What do you say, Robert?
I'm with Crystal on that one. I reckon I think England will keep a clean sheet on that one. Yeah, I think so. They'll keep a clean sheet. So it is I think, well, I'm hoping on paper that's how it should be. But we never know. The game is not played on paper; it's played on the grass.
You can't watch it because you got to be doing your suit. You got to be doing.
Take his jacket taken in.
Hey, good luck with the wedding in advance. I think you guys are jumping too soon here. Even though I got the prediction wrong last week with England, I thought Germany's team Germany would have done anything, but it didn't happen. I'm still a bit cautious about England scoring 3 goals. I don't think the Ukraine are going to want to see their net breached. I think Ukraine are going to really try to play a tight game, but England should overpower them. The way Sterling is playing, we have to give him credit. He is definitely one of the players so far of the tournament. So if the player of the tournament turns up, England wins. But I think not a 3-0 win. I don't think it's as comfortable as 3-0. I think it's going to be like I think England wins. I think England wins in Rome. 1 goal, 1-0 England.
Yeah, I can agree to a certain amount what you say, because the one thing that this England team has struggled with is scoring goals in open play.
Yeah.
They've always had this problem, and I'm just saying to myself that they got to crack this. They got to crack this, and I was waiting for Harry Kane to score 1 goal in open play. Yeah, and if he done that, I think, well, if he does that, then he will get on the roll. And
when Harry Strain takes the plane, when Strain's on the plane, it's not that straightforward. Strain doesn't do the plane right. Ernie, wake up.
I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is, right? Whenever you see Spurs start the season, Kane always used to struggle. But once he scored, he started to get on a roll. And that's what I was thinking, the same thing with England. He struggled to score, but once he scores, he'll get on a roll. So if that happens, and Sterling can supply the ammunition, Saka can supply the ammunition, and we can do a first half and score. And if we get comfortable, like a couple of goals up, I would like to see Sancho and Rashford come on.
Robert, you also remember this is an away game. This is in Rome. No England fans in the stadium, bro. Like
both teams are away.
Fans.
Both teams are away.
Yeah, but you can imagine how many people that's going to be on that side, on the Baltic people that can get to Italy. I don't think they've got the restrictions like England. I'm pretty sure Ukraine is not in the in any zones at this present time, so there'll be a lot more chances for Ukrainian fans to get into the ground. They will be up for it, bro. They'll be mad up for it, like how Scotland was mad up.
Do you think some England fans are going to find their way in there, Robbo?
Of course they would.
Well, you know all them kind of, all them dodgy links, Ernie. So I know you know how to get tickets.
You got the music. It's coming home, so I'm taking it that you got some links in there.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't need to. I don't need to find it's coming home because it's in Rome, but there won't be anybody on the plane singing that because there will be no planes going there. It's going to be a tough game. I don't think it's going to be as easy as I don't think they roll them over 3 goals, bro. I think it's if they do roll over Ukraine, it's going to be by 1 goal. It's going to be a tough nut to crack. A tough game.
You're going 1-0 then. You're going 1-0.
I think England wins, but I think they do 1-0. And then we talk about it next week, I suppose, what the final's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, will we know by next Friday? We'll know by next Friday what the final's going to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
Finals on Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah. So
Sunday.
we'll know by next Friday. This time next Friday, we will know what the final's going to be.
So it's our final show of the Euros next week. So listen, guys, give it your all. I'm hoping Rob comes back. Rob, are you actually going on the honeymoon?
For me,
it's not his wedding.
I know, but Rob's got suits, man. He's got suits. He may want to, you know what I mean, just fly out.
He might want to go and just wear Darren Southgate's waistcoat, innit?
You just want to wear the waistcoat. So hopefully, Rob, you'll be here next week, and of course, Crystal, you'll be here next week. Let's see if we can. Let's go out with a bang on the Euros. I'll even try to find a few England fans to console Daddy Ernie, just in case England don't make it.
Just before we go, Anthony, can you flash up that Sterling picture for us, please? Just before we go, we got to go out with Sir Robert. That's the picture that I was talking about, man. Look at that.
Yes,
beautiful.
It's a lovely tree.
No,
Ain't
got no lights on it though. I mean,
it's an IKEA job, isn't it? It's an IKEA picture. Big up,
I think that might have been for the H&M advert. Remember Raheem in the H&M advert?
Yeah, well, whatever advert it's supposed to be in. If I'd woken up and seen that picture on the front of the newspapers on Wednesday morning, was it Wednesday or Thursday morning? Whatever.
But, I mean, you're asking for a lot, Ernie. It's not exactly a football picture, is it? It's like
and it was for Christmas.
It's more of a Christmas picture.
It's a family picture. It's a family picture.
Yeah, but it's got a Christmas tree, unless you Photoshop it out.
You got to know that
it's July, son. Wake up, man. It's July.
We got family. You have to know that we have family. You know what I mean?
You're drinking that. What's that? White gum? White gum? Wake up, man.
Robert, we were wrong. So he's not Jamaican. He's not Bayesian, but he has a Guyanese dad.
Braithwaite.
A guy
he
plays for Barcelona, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Does he still play for them? Because
he still plays for them. I was so shocked that he still, I was shocked when they signed him. Wow. Well done, Braithwaite, man. Let's hope that he can bang a few in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We normally call him Braffit. That's what the pages of Braffit.
Braffit. Yeah.
What you say? It's Guyanese.
Yeah, Guyanese, Dad.
Wow.
Guyanese, man. Them.
Yeah, the Greens, man. The Greens, Guyanese.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, it's been a great show. I'm glad we got through some football and some family heritage and Christmas cards and waistcoats and weddings. Yeah, so man. You can't say that we don't get through things. And then we even had the shock face from Crystal. Goal celebration. We've had everything in the show.
And to top it all, we got the fryer to go.
Yeah, the only thing left is just to find out if Ernie is gonna burn up his food in his air fryer, because Ernie's a man that doesn't even want to use his phone. Can you imagine Ernie with instructions? This is Ernie. It don't work. It don't work. It don't work.
We got
everything burn up in the air fryer. Ernie, please read the instructions. Air fryers, it's amazing, but you must use the instructions.
If I run into any problems, Robert, how could you call you? I'll bring it around your yard and you can show me.
Yeah, all right. Yo, Robert, enjoy your weekend, man.
All right,
man. Crystal, enjoy your weekend also.
You too, guys.
Ernie,
thank you.
I know you're going to enjoy your weekend.
You're going to enjoy it because you're going to find it's coming home, and you're going to be playing around your yard.
I'll find it next week. Hopefully, in Robert's case, it'll be it's the theme tune for next week, Friday, man. People, thank you for joining us. Please, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed on YouTube, please, I'm asking you, please just subscribe on YouTube. And if you're watching on, we got more. I mean, obviously, the season's going to be going crazy. We got big guests for the football season, but for you to know, you need to subscribe and obviously add that notification bell. It don't cost. We're not asking for nothing. We ain't even asking for a glass of white rum. No. Please subscribe. Listen, we'll be back next week. Thanks for joining us. Fixture List. Peace.
Boom. We're out.
Okay.